Hi everyone! Maths this week in Key Stage 1 with Mr Dixon is looking at how to tell the time. Now we've done this before in school, and I know in classes 3, classes 4 and classes 5 that you've been able to practice this in school before. Now, thinking about telling the time. Well, when I think about telling the time, I think of days of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and, you guessed it, Sunday. I also think of months of the year. I have a little song. January, February, March and April, May, June, July and August, September, October, November, December. These are the months of the year. I hope you enjoyed my singing. Now, there are 12 months in a year, and when you think of months, you probably think of birthdays. My birthday is in October. When's yours? Have a little think. Now, also when we think about telling the time, we think of clocks. And what I've been able to do today, I've hunted all around the house for as many clocks as I can find. And they come in lots of different shapes and sizes. Let's take a look. Now, today, as I hunted around for these different clocks, I took the batteries out of them so you can see that they're all at the same time. Now, here's our first little clock. Here it is. This one, however, isn't at the same time. This is a very ticky clock. Can you hear it? This one was given to me by my granddad, and it has a mechanism in it, so it doesn't have a battery. The rest of them are battery powered, however. So let's have a look at this one. Whoa! A huge big clock there with some funny numbers around the sides. I wonder what they are. And a little clock here. Slightly bigger clock here. Similar size clock here. And you may have seen this one on my Facebook videos. Whoa! Look at that one. A huge giant clock here. Again with those funny numbers around the sides. Now, as I flip you back round, I'm going to hold up my little clock and hopefully we're going to be able to do a little bit of work using it. So bear with Mr Dixon just for a second. Now, here is my little clock. It's not quite the same as the one I used to teach you with at school, but it's quite similar. Now, you'll notice that on our clock we've got numbers all the way around the outside. We have a big hand and we also have a little hand. The big hand tells you how many minutes past the hour have gone. The little hand tells you how many hours have passed. Now, minutes have passed. Now, I know we've talked about this, and there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. There are also 60 seconds in 1 minute. Try your very best as a little challenge. Try and count to 60 and see if you can see how long a minute is. Now, you'll notice that my clock is set to a certain time. The big hand is pointing to the 12, so that must mean it's an o'clock time. The little hand is pointing to the 3, so that makes the time 3 o'clock. When you're in year 1, you have to know how to tell the time to o'clock and also to half past. Let me see if I can find another time for you. What time is it now, I wonder? The big hand is pointing to the o'clock. The little hand is pointing to the 4. I can hear you shouting it out. It must be 4 o'clock. Now, when I move the hands, I always try to move my hands clockwise. That's in this direction. Does anyone know what time it is now? The big hand is pointing to the 6 and the little hand is pointing right in the middle of the 4 and the 5. Yes, that's right. That's half past. Half past 4. Because the little hand is getting ready to go up to the 5 to make it 5 o'clock. Let's have a look again. The big hand moves down. Points to the 6. When the big hand points to the 6, it's half past. So it must be 5:30 because the little hand isn't quite at the 6 yet. Let's make 6 o'clock. There we are, 6 o'clock. Now, year 2 people, it gets a little bit trickier for you because you already know how to do o'clock. You already know how to do 5:30. We're going to look at some different times. Again, my minute hand, the big hand, always moves clockwise. And I'm going to move it so it's pointing to the number 3. Now you can split a clock into quarters, and we've talked about fractions, so we split it in half. And if we cut it in half again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. 4 equal parts are known as quarters. When the big hand is pointing to the 3, it's past the hour. So that must mean it's 1/4 the hour. 6:15. Can you see? If the big hand moved down to the bottom, year 1s, I can hear you all. The time would be 6:30. Things are getting trickier now. Past. Oh, it's getting towards 7 o'clock. 1/4, 1/2. My big hand's pointing to the 9 now. That must mean it's 1/4. What's the next hour going to be? You guessed it, 7. 7:45. And the time now, year 1s, is 7 o'clock. Let's do that one more time. 7 o'clock. 7:15. 7:30. 1:45. What's the next hour? 8. And 8 o'clock. Now, if you master that, you might want to start to think about your clock even more. Because every time you see a number, that marks 5 minutes. And you, of course, know your 5 times tables. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. 60 minutes in an hour. If the time's showing 8 o'clock here, and I was to move the minute hand 5 minutes, the time would be 8:05. If I was to move it here, things get a little trickier. Remember, counting 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 past 8. And we know if we move it on one more, I'm sure you would all know that time. That's right, it's 8:30. Now, when you're doing your 5-minute intervals, once you go beyond your 6, things change from past. It's getting ready for the next hour, so it becomes 2. Let's have a look. What time would this be? Let's count in 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. I've got it. 55 past 9. What do you mean that's not right, Mr. Dixon? Once it goes past the 6, it becomes 2. Of course. 25 to, 22, 1/4 to, 10 to. Aha! There's 5 minutes to go till the next hour. That must mean it's 5 to 9. And if I move it around, I can make 9 o'clock. Boys and girls, telling the time is tricky, but it's something that you can do and you can practice all the time. I'm sure, like me, you've got lots and lots of different clocks around your house. You might have some with those funny numbers on as well. Roman numerals. You'll learn about those in the juniors. But have a look at the different times. Year ones, have a go at working out your o'clocks and your half pasts. Year twos, have a go at working out your quarter pasts and your quarter twos, as well as your o'clocks and your half pasts. And see if you can have a little go at those 5-minute intervals. Clocks are everywhere. Time will wait for no man. So make sure you have a look at your time this week. Have a go at finding different times and have some fun. Thanks everyone. Hope to see you soon.